Hi neighbor, how are you?
Hello, hello.
I'm just gonna get right into it and sing our theme song for today. It's not the Reading Time with the Queen theme song, but you might know it. And you're free to sing along, because it's a good song. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Could you be mine? Would you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, a neighborly day for a beauty. Could you be mine? Would you be mine? I have always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. I've always wanted to live in the neighborhood with you, so let's make the most of this beautiful day. Since we're together, we might as well say, would you be my, could you be my, won't you be my neighbor? Won't you please, please won't you be my neighbor? 1, 2, 3. I have always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. I've always wanted to live in the neighborhood with you, so let's make the most of this beautiful day. Since we're together, we might as well say, could you be my, would you be my, won't you be my neighbor? Won't you please, won't you please, please won't you be my neighbor? Hello neighbor! How are you today? It's very nice to see you. It's a wonderful time in the neighborhood, and I am so happy to see you here at Reading Time with the Queens. Yes, that is the program that we're doing today.
Oh my gosh.
But we're paying homage to another program, one of my very favorite programs when I was a kid, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. But before we talk a little bit more about that, I'd like to introduce my good neighbor, Mr. Aaron.
Hello. Welcome back. Good to see you guys again.
Yes, we haven't done a live reading time for quite a bit. We did the one in the park, but here in Reading Time with the Queen Studios with our wonderful set.
Yes, great.
It's a nice time.
I love this. This is very much Mr. Rogers' neighborhood.
Yeah, so here's Mr. Rogers here. Here's Mr. Rogers here, obviously, and also I am dressed kind of like Mr. Rogers.
And I just wore a cardigan to honor the theme.
Yes, well, Mr. Rogers had a stately red cardigan that he would wear, a sweater that he would wear all the time, and you have your t-shirt that you wear all the time as well.
All the time, absolutely. This is literally my Reading Time t-shirt.
It's very nice.
I don't wear it any other time.
Yes, I like it quite a bit.
Yes.
It gives you character.
Because I don't have enough.
Well, today we are going to be celebrating and paying homage to Mr. Rogers. Now, Mr. Rogers was someone who, I don't know if you know this. I mean, do you know this? He made children's television programs for many, many years when he was alive, and I watched those programs when I was a kid. And you might not have seen Mr. Rogers on your television, but you might know his friend, whose name is Daniel Tiger. And so this is what Daniel Tiger used to look like. And we're going to be reading a book about Daniel Tiger from his own television show now. Yes, Daniel Tiger was Mr. Rogers' friend back in the day.
Daniel Tiger was Mr. Rogers' neighbor.
Yes, this is very true.
See, they're right next to each other.
Right next to each other. So Mr. Rogers' legacy just spans all time and space, I guess. It's intergenerational. We are paying homage to Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, but we are also doing Reading Time with the Queens. And here at Reading Time with the Queens, one of the things that we learn each time to make sure that we are able to communicate with our neighbors is sign language.
Absolutely.
And now Mr. 𝐬𝐢 is not here today, but his husband, Mr. Aaron, is wonderfully here, and he is going to teach us some signs that Mr. 𝐬𝐢 has picked out.
Exactly.
Yes. Could you teach us how to do these signs today?
Yes, absolutely. So I have several, and instead of doing 3, we're doing a few.
Oh.
Because
Bonus
it's
signs.
good. Exactly. Bonus signs today. All right. So the first one, obviously, is neighbor. Because Mr. Rogers was huge in the neighborhood and lots of neighbors. So it's going to be really simple. We're going to have our hands like this, and it's just going to put them up. Neighbor. And you normally sign it a little bit lower, but I'm signing it for the camera, so you just put them together. Neighbor. It's
so this
kind
is
of like
person.
Yeah. So it's like houses next to each other.
House person.
Yeah, I mean,
neighbor.
House is more, but we just do neighbor.
Okay.
Neighbor, and then neighborhood is a bigger area, so we're just gonna do neighborhood.
Okay, there we go.
So it's a neighbor area.
Neighborhood.
There you go.
Awesome.
All right. Let's see. Mr. Rogers was big in talking about feelings.
Yes.
And exploring feelings.
Yes.
So that's another one.
Our emotions.
Exactly. And just kind of understanding and processing different emotions that sometimes are uncomfortable sometimes, and some really, really fun ones as well. So we're going to take our middle finger, and we're just going to bend it a little bit.
Okay.
And you're just going to put it just left or right of the middle of your chest. And it's feelings.
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 Okay.
So sometimes you're feeling sad or you're feeling happy, and you can sign all the different feelings.
There you go.
And so normally when you bend it in like that, it's the feel finger, because you sign it with all of your emotions.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you for letting us know that,
So
Mr.
Feelings.
Feelings.
Yeah, all right. From there, Mr. Rogers was, of course, on TV.
Yes, that's very true.
Television. And we're going to make it really, really simple.
Okay.
Television.
Television.
T.
T.
V.
V.
TV.
TV.
Television.
We kind of learned all the letters at the beginning of the year, but so here's a
Exactly.
callback. This is T, so you put your thumb in between your first and second fingers, right?
Yep.
And then V is looks just like a V.
There you go.
TV.
TV.
Perfect.
And last one we're going to learn. I know it's a long list today, guys. I'm sorry.
It's wonderful.
I know. I love these signs. We're going to do like and then dislike, because they're very similar.
Okay.
In how you sign them. So the first one, again, that feel finger.
Okay.
You're going to just from the middle of your chest, and you're just going to pull forward with your thumb and your middle finger.
Okay.
So it's going to look like this. Okay. So it's going to be just from like. Like. And then with this one, if you don't like something, you're going to do the opposite, like you're throwing it away.
Oh.
And you're going to shake your head. So it's dislike.
Don't like it.
Yeah, exactly. So I like reading time.
Oh, okay.
I don't like missing reading time. So there you go.
There you go. Why don't we run back over all of those signs so we make sure we remember them throughout the rest of reading time.
Exactly. So you guys help us along if we forget something.
Yes, make sure.
Exactly. You guys are going to be our critiquers, okay? So neighbor, neighborhood, feelings, with that middle finger, feelings, TV, real easy, like, and then dislike. All right.
That's a lot of really good signs, and I'm sure that we're going to be able to use quite a few of them.
Absolutely.
In our reading time.
I'm excited.
Well, let's get on to the first book. Now, like I said, we're going to be reading a book about Daniel Tiger. Do you have that book
Yes,
ready?
I do. I read this through a couple of times, and I wish I'd read it when I was younger, because this is really, really cool, actually. So this is Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood, and this is called Remembering Bluefish.
Okay.
Okay.
But you want to get just a tad bit closer to
because
it's kind of a small book.
Exactly.
And I'll just sit here and listen to you read it.
Okay, am I close enough? Remembering Bluefish. Sorry, there's a little bit of a glare. This is going to be fun, though. It's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. All right. Ooh, this is adapted by Becky Friedman. All right. We ready?
I'm ready.
Are you guys ready? Here we go. We're talking about Remembering Bluefish. It was a beautiful day in the neighborhood, and Daniel Tiger and baby Margaret were playing together. Blub, 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 I'm a great big whale, said Daniel. Blub, 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 said Margaret. They're just playing. Look at that. There you go. Pretty basic right there. Playing with fish. Did that a lot when I was younger. Daniel chased Margaret around the living room. "Look out, Margaret Fish! Daniel the whale is coming to get you!" "Blub, blub, blub," said Margaret as she ran away giggling. Oh my gosh, look at that. Look at that. Running around the house.
Did you often play with your siblings when you were younger?
I did. I have an older brother, and he would chase me around the house a lot, and we would just play all sorts of games. So.
It could be really fun to play with your siblings.
Oh, yes. Even then, there's times I look back, I'm like, I didn't really like that very much, but it was still good memories. Very good memories. I love my brother. All right. Daniel followed Margaret all the way over to the fish tank. He stopped and watched the fish, which is what you do. Daniel saw his favorite fish, Bluefish, near the little castle. "Hi, Bluefish. You love your underwater castle, don't you?" said Daniel. "I wish I could swim in it with you." Look at that. By the fish tank. And then Daniel's looking at Bluefish in the castle, just chilling a little bit there. See what happens. Daniel imagined that he was swimming in the fish tank with all his fish. I've done this before too, because I love to swim.
Oh, yes. Imagination is very, very important.
Oh,
Mr.
yeah.
Rogers would talk about imagination a lot. That's what this quote up here says, "Imagining something is the first step in making it happen."
So you think he's going to swim in the fish with all his fish?
Well,
Fish tank?
it's a good thing to imagine. At least he can go swimming with the fish maybe in the ocean someday.
True. And within your imagination, you don't get wet.
It's true.
Don't track water all over the carpet. Your mom's going to get mad. All right. Daniel watched the fish swimming around, but he noticed that Bluefish wasn't swimming like the others. Bluefish was lying at the bottom of the tank. "Dad," called Daniel, "I think something is wrong with Bluefish." Dad Tiger walked over and looked at the fish with Daniel. "Bluefish isn't moving." "Is he sleeping?" asked Daniel. "I don't think so," Dad said gently. "I think Bluefish is dead."
Oh.
That's really sad. Look at that, just chilling, looking at it. And then Dad comes over and says, "I think Bluefish is dead." That's kind of sad. All right, well, we'll see what happens next. All right. Dad starts singing. "Ask questions about what happened, it may help," sang Dad. "What does it mean that Bluefish is dead?" asked Daniel. "It means that Bluefish isn't breathing or swimming anymore," said Dad. "Ask questions about what happened, it may help," Daniel sang. "Can Bluefish play later?" asked Daniel. "No. When a pet dies, it can't play anymore," said Dad.
Oh,
This is really sad.
that's very sad.
Yeah. "I feel sad. I loved Bluefish," said Daniel. "I'm sorry, Daniel," Mom said, wrapping him in a big hug. "I feel sad too. Come sit on the couch with me." That's really nice. Comforting somebody. Look at that. Mom and Dad just talking about what's happened to Bluefish, and Mom over here on the couch with Daniel. That's really sweet.
I like how Dad Tiger encourages him to ask questions about what he's feeling.
Right? Exactly.
It helps him get the answers that he's looking for.
Exactly. And we're not going to know the answer until we ask the questions, right?
That's true.
All right. "Ask questions about what happened, it may help," sang Mom. "I'm sad Bluefish died," said Daniel. "How can I feel better?" Which is a really good question. "Sometimes making a drawing of what you're sad about can help you feel better," suggested Mom. Daniel took out his crayons to make a picture of Bluefish. This was Bluefish, Daniel said as he drew. He was a smiley fish and he loved to swim. Daniel drew Bluefish's tank and castle too, and they added some wavy lines for water. So he made Bluefish another tank, basically. Look at that. Mom singing. Dad's on the couch as well, talking about it still. Daniel's over there just making a picture. He's using his imagination. That Bluefish is in the drawing, I think.
Yeah, that's a very good way of remembering people that were once close to you.
Exactly, pictures.
Or pets or fish.
All sorts of things. Margaret came over and gave Daniel a hug, which is really sweet. Then she took out her toy fish. She still wanted to play. "No, Margaret, I don't want to play right now," said Daniel. "I'm still sad." But Margaret didn't understand. She took Daniel's picture and ran to the living room. Okay, I'm going to stop right there. Look at that. Running, running with the picture. Oh dear. Margaret doesn't understand, probably because she didn't ask questions.
Well, it doesn't look like she's ready to ask those questions quite yet.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not. Mom Tiger stopped Margaret and gave Daniel his picture back. "I'm mad," said Daniel. "I didn't want Margaret to take my picture, and I didn't want Bluefish to die." "I'm sorry, Daniel," said Mom Tiger. "Ask questions about what happened. It may help." Look at that. Oh. Mom's over there playing the referee a little bit. Still encouraging Daniel to ask questions because he's still kind of processing.
Yeah.
First he
was sad and now he's mad.
I know. And trying to feel a little bit better about it. "Peekaboo," said Margaret, covering her eyes. Daniel giggled. "Mom, do you think it's okay to laugh or play with Margaret even though Bluefish died?" "Yes," said Mom. "It's okay to be happy sometimes and sad sometimes." Daniel smiled. "Okay, Margaret, let's play." Daniel and Margaret played hide and seek, laughing together until Daniel got a terrific idea. Oh, still helping him kind of process what's going on a little bit. And it is okay to feel happy sometimes, even though something sad has happened. And then kind of going back to how things were and playing with Margaret a little bit. Let's see what his terrific idea was. Daniel picked up his picture of Bluefish and brought it over to the fish tank. "Hi, fishies," said Daniel, holding up his picture. "This is a picture of Bluefish I made. He doesn't live in the fish tank anymore." "How about we tape the picture to the tank right here so you can look at it whenever you want," said Dad. "I like that idea," said Daniel. "And I have another idea too." All right. So he's telling the other fish about Bluefish, how important he was, and Dad said, "Hey, let's keep them together. We can look at it. Use your imagination that Bluefish is still there." That's really nice. Let's see what his other idea is. Daniel showed Dad a blue rock that he'd found outside. "I want to put a blue rock in the fish tank to remind me of Bluefish," said Daniel. Dad helped Daniel lower the blue rock into the tank. "Now we can always remember our friend Bluefish," said Daniel. That's really sweet.
That is very sweet.
A picture and something to remember them by.
Yeah.
That's really nice. Kind of honoring Bluefish's memory. "I'm glad you were there with me for happy times and sad times. You can find someone to talk to when you feel sad too." And Daniel is talking all of us. You know what he says at the very end?
What?
"Aga maga." Look at that. That's some really important words from Daniel. I'm going to read them again, actually. "I'm glad you were with me for happy times and sad times. You can find someone to talk to when you feel sad too." I think that's really, really important.
Yes, it is. Finding someone to speak with when you're having some sad or mad or even happy feelings is really it's a good way of processing those feelings.
Yeah, exactly.
And having someone there that you can trust to have those conversations with is very important.
Very, very important. So that was Remembering Bluefish.
I quite like that book.
Yeah.
Thank you for reading it, Mr. Aaron.
Thank you for letting me read it. It's a really good book.
It can be a difficult thing to process when the feelings that you have when someone's passed away, or a pet, or even someone you know.
Yeah.
So, but it doesn't make it. It doesn't mean that it's a less an important thing to be talking about.
Yep. Very true.
And one thing that you can do every day is make sure you remind people how much you love them or like them as you when they are living.
Yeah.
So I actually want to sing a song just about that, and look, wouldn't you know it, I have a book that goes along with that song as well.
Shocked.
I know. So we have kind of like an extra little special part of this song is that we can watch the pictures while I'm singing the song. Mr. Aaron, would you mind holding that book up to the camera? So this is Mr. Rogers, if you don't know what he looks like already. And he's holding a puppet of Daniel Tiger, because that's what Daniel Tiger was before he was a cartoon. He was a puppet. And yes, they were really good friends. And anyways, this is a song that Mr. Rogers wrote called It's You I Like. It's you I like. It's not the things you wear. It's not the way you do your hair. But it's you I like. The way you are right now. The way down deep inside you. Not the things that hide you. Not your toys, they're just beside you. But it's you I like. Every part of you. Your skin, your eyes, your feelings. Whether old or new. I hope that you'll remember, even when you're feeling blue, that it's you I like, it's you yourself, it's you, it's you I like. Do you mind if I sing that song one more time?
Go for it. This is great.
Why don't you actually sit down and I'll just sing the song
And
by
I'll sit
itself.
here and appreciate it.
Actually, this is just for you. How about that?
Okay.
It's you I like. It's not that shirt you wear. It's not the way you do your hair. But it's you I like. The way you are right now. The way down deep inside you. Not the things that hide you. Not your puns, they're just beside you. But it's you I like. Every part of you. Your skin, your eyes, your feelings. Whether old or new. I hope that you'll remember, even when you're feeling blue, that it's you I like, it's you yourself, it's you, it's you I like.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
It was very sweet, Miss Cali.
Well, it is you I like, and I want you to remember that all the time.
I will, and thank you for the reminder.
You are a very special friend to me, Mr. Aaron.
You are as well. And you all are as well.
Yes. Remember that you are special, and it is you that I like. Well, next we're going to do, I know that you're waiting for it. If you've gotten your craft kit from 𝐬𝐢𝐠𝐧, the library, or I'm sure that there are still some available at the bookshelf in Idaho Falls.
Ooh.
We are going to take those craft kits and we are going to learn how to make a puppet. As you can see here, Mr. Rogers, and we mentioned this already, he loved to play with puppets, and we'll talk more about that later. But yes, we're gonna just transition over to Miss Barb's Craft Corner.
Yay!
Let's go ahead and do it.
Transition.
Okay. Yes, we're here in Craft Corner with Miss Barb.
Hi.
How are you, Miss Barb?
I'm good. I'm really glad to be here
Yes, in Craft Corner.
in Craft Corner.
Miss Barb's Craft Corner.
Yes.
Okay, so like I said, we're planning on making puppets, correct?
Puppets. Look.
Yes.
These are my friends,
Okay.
Fritz
Fritz
and Irma.
and Irma. Fritz and Irma.
I just decided to give them some cute little names.
That's nice. Yeah. So these are what our puppets are going to kind of look
Yes. We ended up realizing that these were too small, so we made a bigger template to make a bigger puppet so it would fit on your hand.
Yes, and you can find that template on readingtimewiththequeens.com. There you go. It's in our little craft corner.
Craft corner section.
Yeah.
There's templates and whatnot for every month lately.
Perfect.
All right, let me tell you what we need. All right, so actually here is a copy of the template. It'll print out on a sheet of paper and you just cut this out. Step 1. You will need 2 pieces of felt.
Okay.
1, 2. And you can get that at any craft store. All right, and then all of the little fun stuff. So we just enclosed an assortment. So we've got a pipe cleaner, chenille stick they call it. This is a little piece of foam. There's some feathers. There's some pom-poms in 3 different sizes here. I've got a big set of Google eyes, some sparkles, and I had some of these hearts left over from Valentine's, little lovebirds.
That's wonderful.
All right. Now, to attach all this stuff, we use glue.
Yes.
I think you're familiar with just your regular average white glue.
White glue. Elmer's glue.
Don't use it.
Oh.
It doesn't stick to the felt won't stick.
Okay.
It sticks, it sucks right through. So, it's tacky glue.
And we included some of this in your craft kit. So if you got a craft kit, awesome, you have some tacky glue. If not, you will need to go out and get some, or else nothing's going to work.
Right. So, yeah, we included this little cup with some glue in it and a lid, craft stick to apply said glue.
Awesome. So what's the first thing that we do, Miss Barb?
We want to put our pieces of felt just together.
Okay.
So when we make a cut, we're actually making 2 cuts because we get both of them at the same time.
Okay, and so I kind of know how to do this part because I make a lot of outfits.
Yeah, just like when you're sewing.
I didn't make this one. I should just mention that. I got this at a wonderful shop in town. But yeah, so I'm going to take this, put it on the pieces of felt, both of them at the same time. I often will pin it down, but we can just, for this purposes,
we got a Sharpie marker.
Take a little Sharpie and trace around. Now, Miss Barb, did you ever watch Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood? Or...
Well, you know, I'm much older.
Oh, I see.
Than my friends here at Reading Time.
You were too old for Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
But I don't know. I must have watched it in my teenage years or something because I do remember watching Mr. Rogers, and I do remember him and doing make-believe and going to
the neighborhood of make-believe.
The neighborhood of make-believe. Mr. McFeely, his what was he?
He was the post office deliverer.
Postman. Yep. So
it was a good time.
It was a good time.
And the puppets were part of the land of make-believe. Mr. Rogers would use puppets to do make-believe all the time. Okay, so I've traced it on one side, and I just pretty much have to keep these. You gotta have a careful hand, keep them all lined up, and then cut them out. Is that what you gotta do?
You cut them out, and then when you get done cutting, you'll have 2 separate pieces, which is what we're gonna glue together.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna cut these out today. Fabric scissors, like scissors that are especially for fabric, are gonna be better, but you can use normal craft stickers just fine. Stickers.
Yes. Scissors. So, you know, you were talking about in Mr. Aaron's book about, you know, speaking about your feelings with people. I was thinking that, you know, if you had some little puppet friends, you could maybe talk to them and just with your imagination.
Yes, you could.
You know, have or another person could have one puppet and you could talk to each other through the puppet if you're feeling a little too shy to be yourself.
That's a great idea, Miss Barb.
But yet you can still get some good advice and get some feelings out. So yeah, they can be helpers. They can be friends.
That's a very good point. I would have to agree with you. I think that when you make believe, you're able to express feelings that you might not have been able to express when you're just being yourself. It'll help you know what you like, help you know what you dislike, help teach you how to be a good neighbor.
Good job, Miss Cali.
Yeah. Well, I kind of practice the signs
so you can remember.
So I can remember
Practice
them.
makes perfect is what they say.
Goodness. Yes. Often, sometimes during this program, I depend on Mr. Aaron or Mr. Zay to do all the signs, and that's probably not the best thing. I think we all should be practicing signs whenever we have the option.
All right, you're almost to the home stretch.
Okay, I'm
there.
almost to the home stretch. Okay, there we go.
All right.
So I got 2 sides to this puppet.
Yep. This is what you got left over. So, you know, you've got a little bit of extra felt left, so if you wanted to use it as part of a decoration, do so. Otherwise, just toss it in the either save it for another craft or toss it away. All right, we're just briefly gonna glue just a little bit.
Yeah, so show you how to glue it together.
Oh, let's show them how you've got the markings on the one page. So you want to turn that over.
I'm gonna put this and then I'm gonna flip it over on that
just
way.
so the ink mark is on the inside,
right?
So it won't show.
That's a good tip.
So let's just glue maybe a side of it, and then I have another one that's already glued.
Okay, because this will take a little bit of time. So I'm just taking the glue here.
Just run it along the edges because you want to keep the middle part open so you can put your hand through there.
Very important. One of the things sometimes I wish during reading time we had someone playing piano. I liked watching Mr. Rogers and hearing the piano that would accompany all the activities that they were doing. Sometimes we don't get that.
All right, so
choice.
see guys, we've just got some glue on the edge, and we're gonna just take the other piece and plop it on the side, matching up all the edges. And maybe what I would suggest is don't put all the glue on at the same time. Just do a section at a time and get it nice and secured.
And then do this
and
section.
then go on to the next section and work your way around. Yep.
It's a good choice.
And then you're going to need to set this guy aside, and I mean for probably a couple hours actually.
Okay, well we'll just put him right here for now.
So, ta-da! A magic of television. He's all dry. And look at that, he changed colors.
Wonderful.
All right, Miss Cali, let me get some glue out of the way. We'll grab our scissors. So now you just use your imagination to see what you want to, how you want to decorate it. So we've got the pom-poms.
Pom-pom.
You can use for buttons. You can use for
some small pom-poms. Oh, and we got some Google eyes.
You're probably going to use those for eyes.
Okay, well let's see. Let's put the eyes on first. And kind of just sit here and play.
Because you do need the glue still.
What we got. So I'm going to put the eyes. Maybe do I want his eyes close together? Do I want them far apart?
Well, Fritz.
Do I want him down here?
See, Fritz has got his eyes close together.
Eyes like that.
And Edna's got hers a little apart.
So we all look different. We're all very special in our own way. Okay, so I'll put the eyes right there.
Here's your glue and your stick.
And then let's see. Oh, there's a little heart, so we'll put the heart there. So that's what I know for certain. And then let's see.
That could be like a hat, and you can put some feathers with it.
I'm gonna make a hat. Make a hat like that. So I'll prep a little hat. Da da da. Boom boom boom. Put some glue. I'm gonna glue that pom pom to this pom pom. Actually, it's probably better if you just gonna. There we go. That's a hat. We're gonna pretend it's a hat.
That works.
And then let's see. I have this pipe cleaner. What if I tie these together? Ooh, see, my imagination's going wild now. And I'm going to just make it into a circle, and then I'm going to do that a couple times.
Are you going to make a necktie?
I think I will.
A bow tie?
I think I'll make a bow tie, Miss Barb.
I like it.
So I'll put a bow tie there. Okay.
And just cut down a little bit.
Yeah. And then, let's see, which one more thing maybe? Oh, we need a nose. Let's do a little, I don't know, brown nose? Yeah, that looks nice. And then, let's see,
so we
do some buttons that are made of little stickies. So these have little stickies on them already.
Little sparkly jewels that are sticky. Yep, you don't have to glue those.
Do that. I'll just put those on right now. Little buttons. Okay. Do another button. There we go. It's a really low waistcoat. And then, oh, this has a little sticky on the back already, so we'll just take that off. That's where the heart is, right? Okay. Gotta make sure you put it on the right
side.
Or it's the left side.
The left side.
Yeah.
Put it on the correct side.
And I'll take my little bow tie and I'll put some glue there.
Maybe just in the middle and then along
Kinda
this edges
just
right there.
Well,
Or do you want it to not be
maybe,
so
yeah,
lay down?
have
it
it-
to be up a little bit.
yeah, because then I can like whoop, do like
Yep.
little.
Shape it and do
We'll
little
shape it,
fun
little
things
stuff.
with it.
Okay. I'll make sure that that's good. And then let's see. Let's get the nose where I want it. How about?
Those are a little bit awkward to pinch, and you gotta kind of pinch them to hold them.
Yeah, you do.
And
There
then
we
just
go.
go plop.
Put that nose there. Kind of got a little crooked nose now. That's okay.
But you
I
know
know
what?
that's like.
It moves. You could still move stuff a little for a couple seconds
Yeah.
after you set it down.
Put some glue on the back of this side. Whoop. Looks like he's a little cross-eyed. Okay.
Well, that's okay.
Nice thing about googly eyes. Okay. Some glue there. Oh, very dapper. Very dapper. And then,
Do you want to put a feather in his cap?
oh, that's a wonderful idea. Thank you. I'm
What
gonna do
color?
a.
You want to do a yellow?
I'll do a yellow one. See.
Excuse me.
Whoop. Do a yellow feather. So, ooh, we can do all kinds of things with this. Just put it there, maybe. Yeah. And then I'll take some more glue. Probably need quite a bit.
For the.
How do I want to do that? I'll do it like that.
Yeah, put a good amount on this big old pom-pom.
There we go. You know, my history with glue is a little fraught.
Yeah, we should not bring that up ever again.
Okay, but there we go. I have all the pieces glued together. I probably should let it dry before I start playing with this puppet.
Oh, definitely, yeah. You're gonna.
But I'm
need
not
to
going to. I'm gonna take my
take off
ring
your
off.
giant, lovely ring.
I'm gonna show you what they look like. Whoop! There you go. Well, what am I supposed to call this
What should we name?
friend, this neighbor?
What should we call this friend?
This hat is very silly.
Do you have an idea, Mr. Aaron?
No idea. Does anyone have an idea in the chat? I see a couple people are commenting. Okay, well,
It'll speak to you. He'll tell you that well,
I
they
think,
will tell you.
yes, I
their
think
name.
that their pronouns are they, them, and they go by Xander. How about Xander? Do you like Xander?
I like
Looks like a Xander. Very dapper. Dapper Xander.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, I am Dapper Xander, and I am here. I'm the owner of a haberdashery. Xander's haberdashery. There we go. This is a wonderful craft, Miss Barb. I
It was
love
fun.
it.
You can get so creative, as
Yes,
you
you
can see
can.
with these two, what we practiced on, and it was just fun. We sat here with Miss Cali and I, and we had all of our supplies, and we just started gluing, and
Very
it was,
good fun.
It was fun. Yeah.
And once you have the puppet, you can use it to make believe. Have make believe.
Yep.
Use your imagination.
Yes, and get a couple of different colors of felt, make 2 or 3, and have a whole conversation with your friends and family.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for showing us.
Yeah, this was fun. Good to see you.
I look forward to Craft Corner every month.
Me too.
And you make it very special.
Thank you, because I really, really, really enjoy doing it. So it's really fun for me to put these together for you.
It's important to enjoy the work that you have to do. Yeah. Well, I have, again, one more book that we're going to be reading, and this book is about, we've been talking about him enough, Mr. Rogers. I know.
I am fangirling all over.
Yeah. Can you tell it's Mr. Rogers? That stately red sweater cardigan?
And his wonderful, kind smile.
Yes. Very nice. Okay, let's do Fred's Big Feelings. I'm going to get a little bit closer so everyone can see. And then you'll help us with the signs
Yes,
that we
I will.
learned. Okay,
Exactly.
amazing. Fred's Big Feelings, The Life and Legacy of Mr. Rogers. Written by Laura Renauld. Illustrated by Brigette Barrager. There's the title page. Hello, neighbor. It's a beautiful day. Come in. Here, I'll read it like this and then show.
Okay.
Look around. What do you see? This is the closet filled with Mr. Rogers' cardigans. His mother knitted each one. Here's where he changes his shoes. Sneakers are more comfy, don't you think? See, here we go. There's where he would keep all his cardigans. So he would come in the door, he would take off his jacket and put on a cardigan, then he'd sit down and change his shoes. To the house shoes.
I did not know his mother stitched all those.
Made all of the cardigans,
Oh
yes.
my gosh.
Now settle in. Mr. Rogers is ready to visit with you. You may know Mr. Rogers as America's favorite television neighbor. But before that, he was Freddie Rogers, a quiet boy with big feelings. Feelings. And there's Freddie Rogers. Mr. Rogers started out as a kid just like you.
Oh my gosh.
Before he grew up into an adult. Can you believe it?
Oh.
Freddie was shy, and he had trouble making friends. He felt sad when his schoolmates overlooked him. Bullies taunted Freddie about his weight. He felt scared when they chased him home. And when asthma kept him indoors for much of the summer, he felt lonelier than ever. See, there's Mr. Rogers. He's, Freddie. Freddie's feeling sad. He's feeling scared, lonely. You'll notice throughout this book, there's a lot of feelings. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to encourage you to pay attention to those feelings as we go through the book, because you're going to see a lot of them.
I think I'll sign the feelings.
You should, yeah.
You should. So let's review. So what we had: sad,
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 sad.
What was the next one?
Scared.
Scared.
Oh, I know this one. Scared.
Scared.
And lonely.
Lonely.
Lonely. But here's Mr. Rogers. He's, just like we said, playing with all his puppets. Freddie took refuge at the piano. Soon his feelings were flowing through his fingertips. Worry fretted and fussed and faded. Sadness wailed and whimpered and waned. Anger crashed and clattered and calmed. Music allowed Freddie to express himself, but it was his grandfather McFeely's message of unconditional love that boosted Freddie's self-esteem. You made this day a really special day just by being yourself, and I happen to like you just the way you are.
Oh.
That's what his grandfather would tell him. So there's Freddie learning how to play the piano at his grandfather's house. Gradually, with Grandfather McFeely's words tucked inside his heart and music as his confidant, Fred grew. In high school, when a football injury landed a popular player in the hospital, Fred was there to bring Jim's homework to him. A dynamic friendship developed between the two. Jim accepted Fred. He vouched for him and encouraged him. Fred's confidence soared. He became a leader. He felt valued and respected. How deeply one person can affect the life of another. So there is Fred's friend Jim. He's in the hospital, and so Fred is bringing his homework, and they're being friends. Being good neighbors, that's what being a good neighbor is bringing someone their homework when they're in the hospital, I suppose.
There you go. That's one definition.
In the spring of 1951, that's 70 years ago. That's a long time. In 1951, Fred's path was clear. Graduate from college, then attend seminary to become a minister. So seminary is like a school for pastors and church leaders.
There you go.
But the new television set at his parents' house.
Television, TV.
Oh, TV. Television set changed his plans. A children's show caught his attention. It left him feeling shocked. Shocked.
Shocked, like surprised.
Yeah, like
Shocked.
surprised. Surprised. So there's the television set. And there's Fred looking at the TV. And that's at his parents' house. And you could see on the TV, there's cartoon characters that are dropping anvils on each other. Oh my goodness. Now that's certainly a type of program. I think to Mr. Rogers, he might call that bombardment. To Fred, television had potential. What if he could create a thoughtful alternative to endless pranks, jokes, and gags that filled the current programming? What if a TV show could leave someone feeling welcomed, loved, even special? Fred was determined to find out. His opportunity came at WQED, America's first community-supported television station. So, we're at TV.
Yeah.
In 1954, Fred and his colleague Josie Carey created the Children's Corner. It was filled with Fred's music, Josie's laughter, and many puppets, which Fred animated from behind the scenes. His hunch that television could build a community while being entertaining and educational proved correct. Their show was a hit. There you go. So that's the Children's Corner. You can see Mr. Rogers over there is using the puppet, and there's his friend Josie who's hosting the Children's Corner, and they're on a TV set. Very neat.
Very nice.
The Children's Corner was performed live and mainly improvised. After it went off the air, Fred wanted to be more intentional about the content of his show. So improvised means they just come up with what they're doing kind of on the fly.
Like what we do.
Yeah, kind of. So we're very intentional about the books that we read and the songs. Those are all planned, but everything in between is improvised.
Exactly.
Yes.
Just like these comments.
Yeah.
I'll let you get back to reading.
So in 1968, Fred started airing his own program, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. There he is. There is Mr. Roger on the television set. And the kids are watching. Now Fred was in front of the camera as the show's host. He welcomed children with his songs, encouraged his viewers' curiosity, and honored his grandfather by naming a character after him, Mr. McFeely, the speedy delivery man. But above all, Fred focused on feelings. Silly, shy, selfish. He addressed them all. Look, Mr. Rogers feels playful. He is taking a juggling lesson. There he is, juggling. Mr. Rogers feels sad. One of his goldfish have died. Oh goodness, that's kind of
sad.
Yeah, like
remembering bluefish.
Like remembering bluefish.
Yeah.
Daniel Tiger had his fish die too. Because he has to say goodbye to the fish. Mr. Rogers feels welcoming. He invites Officer Clements to soak his feet. There's Officer Clements. So he's just saying, hey, it's a hot day. Why don't you put your feet in this tub with me and cool off?
I remember watching that episode.
You do?
Yeah, well, reruns of that episode, but still.
It's very impactful.
Yes, very, very.
That's what it means to be a neighbor. Mr. Rogers feels joyful. He visits with special guests like cellist 𝐬𝐢𝐠𝐧, dancer 𝐿, jazz trumpeter Wynton Marsalis, and even Koko the Gorilla. So there's 𝐬𝐢𝐠𝐧. Oops, can you see he's playing a cello? And see there's 𝐿, a ballet dancer. Wynton Marsalis is right here playing trumpet. And then there's Koko the Gorilla. He's a very famous gorilla.
He or she? Do we know?
Oh,
Koko, I think she.
Koko's a girl. Okay, well, we'll have to put that in the notes below. Now listen, here comes the trolley. Ding ding, toot toot. So there's the trolley you can see going through. Now the trolley is what would take us to the neighborhood of make-believe. Woo! There's the neighborhood of make-believe. Lots of things are going on there. Goodness gracious.
I am getting on that trolley.
It's a world of make-believe. The small tiger feels worried. What if a falling star lands on his clock? The king's niece feels generous. She offers orange juice to each of her friends. The rosy-cheeked lady feels angry. She turns a tower upside down. Well, that's certainly make-believe if I've ever seen it. So there's a crazy lady. what do we call her? Rosy-cheeked lady. That's Lady Elaine Fairchild. She would say, what did she say? Boomerang, toomerang. And then she would make things turn upside down. Toot toot, ding ding. See you next time. Grandfather McFeely knew Fred was one of a kind. And now, America's children did too. All over the country, viewers were beginning to depend on his steady, caring presence. But in 1969, when Fred's show was only 1 year old, the government threatened to cut the funding for public television. Oh goodness. So Fred stepped off the set of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood and into a hearing on Capitol Hill to make his feelings known. There's Mr. Rogers. He's rushing off to Capitol Hill. Got his feelings in his pocket and he's ready. Let's see what happens. In front of a Senate committee, Fred testifies about the important work of childhood to learn how to express emotions constructively. It's very important. A Senate committee is that's a place where grown-ups talk about government things.
And laws.
And laws and things like that, and spending, where they're going to spend money. Even though Fred felt mad, he didn't shout or blame or raise his voice. Instead, he recited a song that he had written for his show called, "What Do You Do with the Mad That You Feel?" In it, he encouraged children to draw on their inner strengths to communicate anger in healthy ways.
Just like Dad Tiger did, ask questions.
Yeah, ask questions. It might help. So there's the Senate chair, and there's Mr. Rogers. He's sitting there, and he's talking to this man about hoping that they can keep the funding for public television, TV. A hush fell over the room during Fred's quiet, passionate testimony. The tough committee chairman, Senator Pastore, even got goosebumps.
Ooh.
"Looks like you just earned the $20 million, he remarked.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
Yes, it is. By sharing his feelings, Fred Rogers secured the funding for public broadcasting. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood would be on the air for years to come. So there's that senator with a reputation, we'll say, and Mr. Rogers was even able to persuade him to keep the public TV funded. In nearly 900 episodes from 1968 to 2001, Mr. Rogers broadcasted affection, compassion, and respect for his audience. His message was clear. It is normal to have feelings. It is good to talk about feelings. It is important to share feelings. And the best part, everyone expresses their feelings in their own special way. So there's everyone expressing their feelings in their own special way. Our visit with Mr. Rogers has come to an end. It's time for him to feed the fish, change out of his sneakers, and hang up his sweater. Now listen, Mr. Rogers has a message just for you. So there, we would feed the fish when we were closing out, put our sweater away, take off our shoes, put our jacket back on, head out the door. Before he'd do that, he'd say, "You always make each day such a special day. Do you know how? Just by being you. There's only one person in the whole world like you, and people can like you exactly as you are. That's such a good feeling." There we go.
Oh my gosh.
That's Fred's big feelings about Mr. Rogers.
Yeah. And he used his feelings to communicate and help something that he's passionate about stay on the air.
Yes,
That's really great.
that is a very important thing to do. I really find it's difficult for me to sometimes talk about my feelings for Mr. Rogers because he was there for me when I was a little kid. And I remember him teaching me how to express my feelings in a constructive way. And also all the fun bits about imagination and going on trips to crayon factories, things like that. And so it's my honor to be able to share a little bit about his legacy with you during reading time.
Yeah. And I think it's important. Even adults sometimes have a hard time sharing their feelings. So it's a good lesson to be reminded of again and again and again.
Yes, we all have feelings and we all express them in our own special way, even adults. Well, we're going to be wrapping up reading time today. I'm very sad that it's ending, but everything has to come to an end at some point.
It's true.
Before we sing our final song, which is what Mr. Rogers would sing at the end of his programs, I want to thank all the neighbors that were able to help us today, starting with Mr. Aaron.
Thank you.
Mr. Aaron,
Oh my
teaching us
gosh.
signs, reading books. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much for having me here.
And then Miss Barb's coming over here.
Yay!
Do you have
I do.
my ukulele?
Yes, I'm going to play the song.
No. Can I please play the song? Thank you. Miss Barb!
Yes, Miss Barb.
Here, come in here. Okay.
Come on in. Yeah.
Do you want to get
I
in
was
the
going
middle?
to say, do you want to get in the middle? Do you want to sit
I
down?
want your seat.
Oh, of
there.
course, of course. Of course. I will sit in the middle.
Alrighty. And I will sing the final theme song, and then we'll just wrap up reading time. How about that?
Yay!
And if you know this song, I'm going to invite you to sing along as well. It's such a good feeling to know you're alive. It's such a happy feeling. You're growing inside. And when you wake up ready to say, I think I'll make a snappy new day. It's such a good feeling, a very good feeling. A feeling you know that we're friends. Guess what?
Oh, Zoo. Oh, great.
It's such a good feeling to know you're alive. It's such a happy feeling. You're growing inside. And when you wake up ready to say, I think I'll make a snappy new day. It's such a good feeling, a very good feeling. A feeling you know that I'll be back when the day is new. And I'll have more ideas for you. And you'll have things you'll want to talk about. I will too. You always make each day such a special day. Do you know how? Just by your being you. There's only one person in the whole world that's just like you, and that's you yourself. And people can like you exactly as you are. That's what Mr. Rogers would also say. Would always say, and that's what I'm saying to you now. So you better believe it. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye, neighbor.
Yes.
I have an idea of doing programs for people as they're going to sleep. You know, I would be able to read stories and the children would be able to see the books right on the computer.